Hate to break it to you, but Disney World's got their sneaky ways of wrapping all of us around their little finger. But I'm here to expose all those tricks today. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog, and I'm here to tell you about the 10 tricks Disney World uses to make you spend more money. As if we need to spend more than we already are, right? These tricks range from, whoa, how did I not notice that? To, I would have never figured that out if you didn't tell me. Either way, it's time to reveal the man behind the curtain. Let's get started. Oh, and by the way, I want to reiterate that most of these things are just standard marketing practices, like every company does these, but still, that doesn't mean that you need to spend more money because of it. Just learn to recognize it, and then make your choice of whether you want to spend the money on that thing or not. So first up is making things limited edition or limited release. What's better than owning a Disney souvenir? Owning a Disney souvenir that only a few people can get their hands on, right? So when Disney marks an item like a popcorn bucket or a pin or a snack, you name it, as something that's only going to be available for a limited time, they create a false sense of urgency for guests, or maybe it's not that false. For many souvenirs and food, we have the privilege of looking at it, admiring it, but thinking, if I really want this, can I come back and get it later? Sometimes we follow through with that, sometimes we don't. Either way, we don't have the fire under our feet pressuring us to grab that item ASAP because it might not be there the next time you check. And then there are the limited edition items that you learn about by word of mouth and you've just gotta have because, well, everyone wants it. And if you happen to snag it off the shelves before everyone else, instant bragging rights. That's why Black Friday has mutated into what it is today. Sometimes it's less about the item itself and more about the thrill of the chase. There's nothing wrong with treating the pursuit of limited edition items as a game, but it might be a good idea to check in with yourself before you make that purchase. Decide ahead of time if that limited edition Loungefly backpack or Spirit jersey is really going to be worth the extra $70 to $80 it's going to cost you, or if you're wanting it just for the thrill of the moment. I think we've all been subject to this. I talk on this channel all the time about the plethora of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge items I own right now that I would probably never have purchased if it wasn't like opening day, right? Now, it's also a good idea to learn about where limited items are going to be released before your visit. That way, if it really is an item you're wanting to save money for, you'll be able to grab it and not have to hunt it down the day of. In the case of certain limited releases, items can sell super quickly, and sometimes they're gone within minutes. The Disney website and Shop Disney website will often announce when items are going to drop and where, and of course, DFB will announce that as well for you. But yep, limited edition and limited release are going to trigger something in the back of your brain that's going to make you think you need that thing. That's the marketing tactic. It's subconscious. So if you're about to drop a ton of money on something that you're not sure you're actually ever going to use or need just for the bragging rights, make sure to triple check with yourself and make sure that that's what you want to do. Next on our list is one that completely blows our minds, and that's the restaurant menus that drop their dollar sign. Have you ever noticed how some Disney restaurants and lounges have menus with no dollar signs on the menu? Don't know what I'm talking about? Just take a look at the physical menu over at Trader Sam's Grog Grotto, located at Disney's Polynesian Village Resort, or this menu at Morimoto Asia in Disney Springs. There's an obvious number next to each item on the menu, clearly pointing out what those items cost, but there's no little ka-ching dollar sign in front of these numbers. Why are we starting to see that happen more around Disney property or around pricier restaurants in general? Well, according to a study done by Cornell University, dropping the dollar sign from an item gets consumers to spend 8% more at restaurants. Isn't that wild? Apparently, consumers connect that classic dollar sign with the negative idea of having to pay for something, kind of like how we associate the pound sign as a hashtag instead of a symbol for a number. Whereas if the dollar sign is nowhere to be found, the negative connotation of, oh, my wallet's going to feel this in the morning, is a little bit lessened subconsciously for us. It's all about mind games. So how do you combat this? Put that dollar sign right back in its rightful place. Don't take that the wrong way. I don't want you to physically write a dollar sign on every menu that doesn't have one from here on out. That's not cool. Just add it back in your mind to help you decide if paying a whopping $25 or rather $25 for a fancy cocktail is going to be worth your hard-earned cash. Okay, another way that Disney makes you spend more money, and this happens all the time and every time, over and over again, those mystery packages. Wishables, Disney pins, Vinylmation. What do these souvenirs have in common? You purchase them in in blind box form. Blind box souvenirs will show you a list of the different characters that could be in the package you're holding, but you won't know what you get until you purchase it and open it yourself. This goes all the way back to baseball cards, y'all. And it takes us right back to point number 1, the thrill of the chase. If there's a character you're really wanting in a certain blind box, you may feel compelled to purchase 1 or 2 or 3. Some people even buy a whole set of like 45 boxes. On the one hand, blind boxes feel like opening a gift on your birthday. The mystery is definitely part of the fun. But on the other hand, if you spend $10 on each blind box, there's still the possibility you won't wind up with the one you're really wanting. Or worse, you could end up with all those doubles. Then you're out $30 to $40 and all you got to show for it are 3 to 4 things you don't really care about. Before you make that blind box purchase, check and see if any of these items are sold individually. If you're searching for a certain character on a pin, then you may be better off tracking down said character at a shop like Disney Pin Traders at Disney Springs, where you'll more than likely find that character on a different pin. Is it the same one from the blind box? No, but at least it's that character, right? Now, if your little one is begging for blind bag wishables, then you're going to have to create a learning experience here. First, explain the situation. Let them know that the character they want is not guaranteed to be in that bag. Offer them a toy that they can physically see instead. If they're still determined to spend their souvenir money on the blind bag, set a boundary, only 1 or 2 tries before moving on. Otherwise, you'll find yourself spending way more money than you intended. Plus, you could still wind up with a disappointed kid. Although, maybe a smarter kid, because now they've learned from the school of hard knocks. Blind boxes, my friends, are gambling, basically. So treat it like that and expect that that money's pretty much going to be gone if you don't get the thing you want. You'll have something, that's why it's not really gambling, but you may not have the something that you needed. Okay, next on our list are those bounce-back offers. Disney likes to pitch you their prices when you're at your most vulnerable. While you're in the middle of the best Disney World vacation ever, you just might find a certain bounce-back offering laid out in your hotel room before the end of your trip. Now, these bounce-back offers, or DVC offers, lots of things end up being slid under your door in Disney hotel rooms. And the bounce-back offers specifically offer Disney resort guests a hefty discount on their next Disney stay. The catch, you're going to have to book that next trip before the end of your current one. Quite the conundrum. On one hand, you might really want to come back to Disney that year to check out the new offerings and experience all the fun over again. On the other hand, you're currently spending a lot of money. Do they really expect you to pitch over more? Yes, they do. That's why they still do this. But don't be fooled. These bounce back offers might be a tad on the manipulative side, but they really can be good savings if you're wanting to double dip on Disney World vacations. And if you end up booking a trip with that bounce back offer, but you regret the purchase later on, Disney's not going to treat it like some contract from Ursula the Sea Witch. You're more than welcome to cancel your vacation without any penalties as long as you cancel 30 days out. If you're looking forward to getting that bounce back offer in your hotel room, but you're not seeing one, you can always check in with the front desk. They'll be happy to fill you in on the latest Disney World offerings and the bounce back offer for that time frame. Next on our list of tricks Disney World uses to make you spend more, the plus factor. Okay, so if dropping the dollar sign means spending more money, then what sign should we be on the lookout for next? How about that plus symbol? We've all seen the pattern: Disney Genie Plus, Magic Band Plus, Park Hopper Plus, even Disney Plus on our TVs. If you see Disney adding that plus symbol after a certain new experience or feature of theirs, what that really means is that you're probably going to be paying more for extra benefits. And these benefits can come in handy for sure. Disney Genie Plus will let you bypass the main standby lines of over 40 attractions so you can get onto the rides quicker. Magic Band Plus, when it releases later this year, might give guests a more immersive experience through the Magic Band technology, with its color-changing lights, haptic vibrations, and gesture recognition. Park Hopper Plus, guests not only jump between Disney parks, but also get the opportunity to check out other Disney World experiences like water parks, golf courses, and other on-property fun and games. But do you need these additions in order to have a great vacation? No. However, Disney will recommend them to you, so do your research ahead of time and be prepared when the offer strikes. Oh, that reminds me, there's also the Dining Plan Plus. Learn what adding one of these extras to your overall vacation bill will mean for you and your travel party. Will it end up being beneficial, or will it end up being a costly endeavor you could have lived without? Each travel group and vacation is different, so these benefits are definitely not a one-size-fits-all situation. If you want to learn more about each of these and their different price ranges, check out the DFP website. We've got blog posts upon blog posts covering each of the plus benefits so you can be more informed about these different offerings. You can also learn more directly on Disney's website, but they might sugarcoat it a little more than we do. Just forewarning ya. Okay, how about that ubiquitous free gift? Tell me if this sounds familiar. If you spend over $50, you'll get this blanket for free. Now, it doesn't have to be a blanket. It could be a bag, a plush, a mug, and it doesn't have to be $50. Prices for these types of offerings typically range in value. But one thing is certain, Disney loves to use this strategy to make you spend more than you were originally planning on purchasing, and so do other stores. Were you just planning on buying that mug? Well, if you spend only $15 more, you'll be eligible for this super cute tote bag. Sorry, I'll drop the bit now. Something tells me that hits a little too close to home for some of us. The word free might sound enticing, but I'm here to remind you it is not really free if you're feeling pressured into paying for more stuff. It's one thing if you're already planning on spending that amount of money on souvenirs anyway, and you get the free item as a bonus, then it really is a nice little perk. But if you're forcing yourself to search out another item that you don't really want just to get the bonus item, then you're not saving anything. Many times Disney will be able to sell you that bonus item at its original value, which could wind up being less than you'd have to spend to get it for free. It's always worth checking with a cast member at the register and finding out. And how about those gift shops, right? Picture this. You're getting off a Disney World ride that you absolutely adore. Maybe it's Flight of Passage at Disney's Animal Kingdom, or Space Mountain at Magic Kingdom, Rock and Roller Coaster at Hollywood Studios. Whatever the ride may be, most likely you're going to have to walk through a gift shop before you get back to the park. Okay, the title of this point totally gives it away, but yes, you guessed it, gift shops. Remember how I said Disney likes to spring their sales pitch when you're at your most vulnerable? They're totally aware that if you're head over heels in love with one of their rides, then you're more than likely going to buy merchandise to remember it by. Now, this might be an expense you were prepared for, and if that's the case, grab that attraction-based item and be happy with your souvenir purchase. But if you weren't prepared to endure such clever marketing schemes, don't forget about your budgeting boundaries. If there's something you know you want to spend your money on later on, then don't let the ride adrenaline persuade you to get that Figment plush. Stick to your guns and budget. And don't forget, you can come back to the gift shop later if you just can't stop thinking about the attraction item you decided to leave behind. You don't have to ride the ride to get into the gift shop. You can go in backwards. Next on our list of ways Disney tricks you to make you spend more, collecting a series. Do you consider yourself a completionist? Then investing in a Disney World collectible series could wind up being very dangerous for your bank account. Disney World is no stranger to the collect them all mindset. The biggest one that comes to the top of my head is the Disney monthly releases. This is when Disney will come up with an overall theme for the year for a series of items, and then they release the new items monthly. Currently, Disney's been finishing up the release of the Stitch Crashes Disney series, featuring Stitch pins and shirts and plush inspired by 12 different classic animated films. Before this series, we had the Minnie Mouse, the main attraction, and now in 2022, we get Mickey Mouse main attraction. Now, Disney's not forcing you to purchase all the items in this series. They're not forcing you to collect all 12 pin releases or collect all the items featured during the month of October. If there's only one item you want out of the entire collection of things, then by all means, just buy that one item. Don't feel obligated to keep going. But if these monthly series collectibles are kind of your jam, then you're going to have to prepare yourself for some early morning item drops and potentially long wait times in both the parks and online. Collectors mean business. So keep checking back on the Shop Disney website to figure out when and where those merch drops are going to release, or really take a look and see, do you need every single one of them? Who knows? And along those same lines, let's talk quickly about exclusive merchandise or experiences. When it comes to Disney card holders, like annual pass holders, DVC members, Chase Visa, those sorts of things, Disney throws out a lot of different benefits and perks. Some of those perks will help you save money on future Disney vacations, but some of them will wind up costing you even more on top of the membership you've already paid for. So let me point you to the pass holder DVC exclusive items you can get at the Disney gift shops on property. That's right, if you're not one of these particular card holders, then certain items in the parks will be off limits for you to purchase. But just like that accomplished feeling I was talking about before in this video, this certain members only mentality can trick cardholders into purchasing items just because they can while others can't. Gotta use those benefits when you got them, right? Even if it's to pay more money. Pass holder exclusive items can be really fun and cool, but I'm going to give you the same advice I did before. Check in with yourself. Do you really want that Tervis cup or magic band, or are you just getting it for the flex of having an item with the word pass holder printed across the side? And don't feel like as a pass holder, you have to get pass holder only stuff. If you like a non-exclusive pair of ears that dropped for the latest Epcot Festival more than the pass holder exclusive pair, don't feel pressured into getting the ones for members only. Save back the money for the purchases that will make you happy for longer than the thrill of the moment. And finally, let's talk subtle and not so subtle price increases. Let's cut to the chase here. Disney raises their prices a lot. Sometimes these price increases are subtle. Just recently, Disney upped hundreds of prices for menu items throughout the parks. Things like Dole Whips, popcorn buckets, Mickey Premium bars, everything got a bump up. If you want to check out the complete list of menu price increases, we'll link our post in the description below. But sometimes the price increases are more drastic. Another recent example of this are the customized lightsabers over at Savi's workshop in Disney's Hollywood Studios. When Savi's first opened, the build your own lightsaber experience was $199 and came with a free sleeve for you to keep your saber in afterwards. Then the price of the experience raised from $199 to $219. Due to supply issues, Disney doesn't have those previously included carrying cases right now. Guests are receiving 10% off in a clear plastic bag, or you can upgrade and purchase a slightly fancier $50 carrying case. That 10% off, by the way, is only about $22, so even with that discount, you're spending almost $30 after tax for something that used to be free. And that's not the only time Disney transformed something that was complimentary and slapped a price tag on it. I'm talking about airport transportation, magic bands for resort stays, fast pass lanes, even resort parking. Alas, there's not a whole lot we can do about the ever-changing prices other than the things we can do for ourselves ahead of time to prepare for the extra expenses. First off, figure out what experiences are going to be worth the splurge. Then make sure to save back more money than you think you're going to spend, just in case. You might find out about a sudden expense you weren't prepared to pay, and you'll be grateful for the safety net money that you can dip into while on vacation. So there are 3 main takeaways from this list, folks. 1, budgeting is key. 2, finding the willpower to not overspend is difficult but possible. And 3, spending extra isn't necessarily a bad thing. You just have to make sure it's the right thing for you and your group to invest in. If you're looking to save on your upcoming Disney World vacation, then sign up for our DFB newsletter. It's totally free, it doesn't cost you a cent, and that way when I stumble upon any deals and discounts, I will send them right your way immediately. You can sign up at the link in the description. All right, everybody, there are some new tricks that Disney World uses to make you spend more. Don't forget to go check out that other video where we've already talked about a few more tricks that Disney plays to make sure you spend more money. There's a lot to be careful of when you're dealing with marketers as genius as Disney. Thanks for listening, everyone, and thanks for watching. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.